Hello and welcome back to Raymies garage. Well, a few days later we've got the parts to replace the hoses in the plenum chamber. I decided to go for this silicone hose. I bought some new clips. I might actually use the original clips that came with these, but the hose itself, and I'll put a link in the description up here somewhere, or a link to it anyway. It's an inside diameter of 70mm, so it looks pretty good, pretty flexible. And new hoses and new hose clips, should I say. So we're going to cut that. I'm going to cut that to the required length. I think it's about 50mm, and we'll see how it fits. That's the original one. That's burst, and just to let you see, the width of that is about 54.5mm, and the inside diameter, like when it does move, it's probably about 70. So yeah, 70. So what I need to try and do is get measurement about 54. I don't suppose this has to be that accurate. I think it does have to be that length to allow it to slide when you're putting the plenum chamber on. What we'll do is try a bit. I don't know how I'm going to cut this. I have a Stanley. I think a good pipe cutter would do it, but the one I've got is too small. I'm going to try and mark it. There's wee lines on that you can see. I'll see if I can mark it with a Sharpie. Let's have a go. I'll maybe pick that line. So I'm not sure if you can see that. There is lines on these. It's not the best. Not the best. Try it with a different Sharpie. It's not any better. This marker pen, I don't think it's going to be good. I'm just going to try and follow that line round there. Okay, so I'm just going to try and follow one of these lines around here. I put a new blade in my Stanley knife here. It's cutting quite easy actually, surprisingly. Just trying to keep my line. There we go. So just about the same size. You do for a wee bit rough to be fair, but I'll live with that. I'll live with that. So let's get the chamber up and we'll see how well that fits it. Hey, okay. Looks a wee bit smaller, but it's actually not too bad. It's pretty decent fit. I think the wall thicknesses on this looks about 5mm. I'll just check that. It's a wee bit smaller than I thought. It's probably 3mm. 3mm thick. I think that one is actually a bit thinner than that. So anyway, it looks like a decent fit. It's actually probably a bit tighter than the original one. Now I can't get it off. It's not a bad thing. I'm just thinking about that. I think you've got to have it in there to allow it to actually go on. If I put them too big, you can't actually get it on. So that's fine. I shall cut another 3 of these and see how we go. So I've got these new clamps with them. These clamps are, not sure you can see that, between 60 and 80. So they're okay, pretty tight. Go on. Just need to try and get them in the right orientation so that we can put them on properly. But they look okay. Get them on there. And we'll get that installed and see how we go from there. So as you will see, I've made a complete balls up of that there, pardon the pun, because I've only ordered 4 new clips and not realising I need 8. But hey, well, these 4 of the original ones are fine. There was one a wee bit dodgy. I didn't really like the look of that one, but it'll probably still work, but I'll take it off anyway. So these 3 are actually okay. The ones there, I can keep them as an emergency if I need to change one quickly, which we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to go on now and put the throttle body on. I did manage to give that a bit of a clean. I'll put that on, put that back together again, then we'll go over to the engine and put that in. I'll start to clean the map sensor, massive pressure sensor. Okay, so let's stuff out the road. We are just trying to orientate myself here, so that's going on there, that goes on like so. That, 4 bolts. Start these behind so as I don't strip them. Feel a bit tight there. Bit of fit. Number 4. And there's the rain on, which I didn't expect, so I have to abandon ship here. Okay, we'll get them torqued to factory spec. Well, I'm not going to lie, that was extremely difficult to put that on. The design of this is pretty poor. You've got to have them that size to get this goddamn thing in, and it's quite difficult to get the 4 of them in. So what I ended up doing, apologies for not videoing that because it just took me too long, I put these 2 hoses on the actual inlet, that one and that one, and I put these 2 hoses on the actual plenum chamber and sprayed it with a silicone lube and managed to get it in. And very difficult, but what I would have liked to have done is measured from the end of that to there and the end of that to there. But I think I've got it reasonably equidistant, shall we say. However, remains to be seen, it is on. I haven't bolted it in yet, but it's pretty difficult to get that in. Being on my own here, and apprentice Pat's probably doing something else at this point in time. So we've got that in, and now I'm just going to rebuild it, put it all back together again. I'm actually running out of daylight, as you'll probably see. So I'm going to give it a bye tonight, and I shall continue that tomorrow and rebuild it, and we'll give it a start and see how it goes. The hoses certainly are a bit more robust feeling, but wouldn't it not be great to have them right up to there? But hey ho, that's what we've got, and we'll just to see how that goes. So I will continue tomorrow, but for you it will only be a few seconds. Good day guys, it's the next day, and I had to bear the rainy Scottish weather to put this back together again. So I've got all the trim back, all these plastic pieces back, all the small bits, but got to put the engine cover on. Bit of a pain doing it yourself, but my camera was going to get wet and I haven't got a lot of time to do this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and start it. It should start alright, I wouldn't think there's any problem with that. We'll maybe have a feel for any air, but after that I'm going to take it out, get the engine warmed up, probably do a DPF regen self, maybe drive for about 20 minutes, and then I'm going to floor it to see if I've got any bush leaks on our new pipes. So let's get it started. Well, it started okay. I'm probably not going to be able to feel anything here until I drive it. I'll go to my hand there and see if I can feel any air that's sucked in, but it's very difficult to do that. So, I'll take it out for a test drive and see where we go from there. And maybe stick the camera in there to record to see if I get any red triangles of restricted performance. Right, so here we are, first test drive. Feels at normal, so I think I'll get the engine up to temperature. Take a wee 25-minute, half an hour run or more, but I won't record all that. And I will keep the camera going just in case we get a restricted performance. Seems to be running fine. So here we go. On the car we've got 71,812 miles, so there's really not a lot of mileage on this car. So the car itself feels quite responsive, although I've been driving a Nissan Elgrand recently, so it will be responsive in comparison to that small 2.5 litre van, if you want to call it. It's certainly very responsive, no sluggishness. So that's us driven about 15 minutes there. I didn't show you all that, did record it all, but we're heading back. So I did take it up a few times to about 2,500–3,000 RPM, no problem at all whatsoever. I really can't see if there's any blue smoke coming out the back because of the weather here, but I'm just going to go into sport mode, take it up now, a wee bit of a straight road. So I've just repositioned the camera and hooked it on just to let you see me doing that, which I'm just giving it loads of welly, and the car's kicking down about probably 2, maybe even 3 gears. So it is. So you can see there's certainly no codes coming up there, and it's certainly taking it just above 3,000 RPM. not holding my phone. This is a GoPro. It's connected to my door handle here, so I'm not actually touching the camera. Right, we'll give it one more chance. Bit of clear road in front, nobody behind. Foot down. Very, very responsive. So there we go, it's working fine. So sitting at 3000, I'm in sport mode in 5th gear. So holding it at 3000 RPM at 5th gear. So 2 turbos are running at this point. Feels very responsive. Hopefully that'll blow any smoke out the back of it. Clear its throat a wee bit. Holding at 3000 RPM in 5th gear. See a wee bit more. It's about 3 1/4. 3,500 RPM. Okay, so that's good. So I hit it with 3,500 RPM there on 5th gear in sport mode, and it held that no problem, no errors, no red triangle. Car's very responsive, and I think a lot to do with that is cleaning out that the inlet part of that throttle body and the plenum chamber as well. So that certainly helps, although it won't last that long. So I think I'll close this video out at that, guys. Car seems to be running really well. I will check for fault codes when I get back home again. But that wee run there was pretty decent, so I'm pretty pleased with the new hoses having came off. They seem to be pretty robust, the silicone hoses, and they're not that expensive. The hose itself and the 4 clips that I bought was only about £60, and I say it again, I'll put a link in the description of the video. Once again, thanks for watching everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers for now.